15 mythical creatures that actually existed in real life. Images like this spark the imagination, but what if reality was even stranger? From creatures with 5 eyes to ancient giants with slicing jaws, these animals actually existed. And today, we're ranking them from the least to the most terrifying of all. Let's begin. Number 15. 375 million years ago, a strange creature crawled through the shallow waters of an ancient swamp. It looked like a fish, but moved like something trying to become more. Its name was Tiktaalik. With a flat crocodile-like skull and eyes on top of its head, Tiktaalik could lift itself up, turn its neck, and even breathe air. But the real surprise was inside its fins. Bones that resembled a human arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist. It was one of the first animals to step onto land, a transitional species between fish and 4-legged creatures. Without Tiktaalik, the entire chain of land-dwelling animals, including us, might never have begun. It didn't have fangs, claws, or armor, but sometimes the most terrifying creatures are the ones that changed everything. Number 14. It looked like a mutant elephant with a shovel for a jaw. This was Platybelodon, a bizarre relative of today's elephants that roamed the earth around 15 million years ago. Instead of tusks, it had 2 enormous flat incisors that formed a sharp, scoop-shaped jaw. It used them like a bulldozer, ripping bark off trees, digging up roots, and shoveling vegetation straight into its mouth. Its trunk was short and muscular, more like a tapir's than a modern elephant's. And its jaw? Powerful enough to tear through entire bushes in one swing. Some early scientists thought it might have used this strange anatomy to fish, but it turns out Platybelodon was 100% herbivore. Still, with its flattened head and jaw that looked like a weapon, many fossils were first thought to belong to some kind of dinosaur. It wasn't a killer, but it looked like something designed for destruction. Number 13. Tiny, feathered, and built like a bat. This is Yichi, one of the strangest dinosaurs ever discovered. Its name means strange wing in Chinese, and for good reason. Unlike most flying dinosaurs, Yichi didn't have wings made of feathers. Instead, it had a long, bony rod extending from its wrist, supporting a membrane of skin, just like a bat. It was about the size of a pigeon, covered in fuzz with sharp claws and a long tail for balance. And although it couldn't flap like a bird, it could glide silently between trees, hunting insects in the darkness. Yichi is the only known dinosaur to evolve this kind of wing structure. It wasn't a bird, it wasn't a bat. It was something completely different. One look at its skeleton, and you'd think it came from a fantasy novel. But it was very, very real. Number 12. It had the body of a shark, but something strange sticking out of its back. This is Catinacanthus, also known as the anvil shark, a small but fearsome predator that lived over 300 million years ago in warm, shallow seas. At just under a meter long, it wasn't its size that made it terrifying. It was the bizarre dorsal fin. Covered in spiny, armor-like denticles and shaped like an anvil, the fin looked like a biological weapon. Only males had it, which suggests it was used to attract mates or to fight rivals during courtship, like underwater gladiators. Its flat head was built for scanning the ocean floor, detecting the faintest vibrations from hidden prey. Catinacanthus hunted soft-bodied animals like mollusks, fish, and crustaceans. But fossil evidence suggests it may have even been cannibalistic. It wasn't the biggest shark in the ocean, but it might have been the meanest. Number 11. Imagine a creature with a head shaped like a vacuum cleaner and a mouth like a zipper. This was Atopodentatus, a 3-meter-long marine reptile that lived about 242 million years ago along the coastlines of what is now China. Its name literally means strange tooth, and one look explains why. Its upper and lower jaws flared out into flat, paddle-like plates lined with rows of tiny, comb-like teeth. Atopodentatus wasn't a predator. It was a filter feeder. It scraped algae from rocks, then sifted mud and water through its weird teeth. much like a whale filters plankton. Early reconstructions had scientists puzzled. Some even thought its jaw folded like a vertical saw. But later fossils confirmed this thing was real, and just as weird as it sounds. It didn't bite, it didn't chase, but with a skull that looked like a creature from an alien planet, a Topodentatus earns its place on this list. So far, we've seen a fish that helped us walk, a shovel-jawed elephant, a dinosaur with bat wings, a shark with an anvil on its back, and a reptile that fed like a vacuum cleaner. Strange? Absolutely. But from here on out, the creatures only get weirder. Let's move on. Number 10. A body like a lizard, but a neck that defied logic. This was Tanystropheus, a semi-aquatic reptile from 240 million years ago, with a neck 3 times longer than its body. And it only had 10 vertebrae, each one stretched out like a telescope. Its entire body was under 2 meters long, but the neck alone reached nearly 3 meters, making it one of the strangest proportions ever seen in nature. Scientists believe it used this absurd neck to hunt fish while keeping its body hidden in murky water, like a biological fishing rod. But its neck was stiff, not flexible, meaning it could only strike in a straight line. Fossils suggest it wasn't fast or agile, just bizarre. Some think it could barely lift its head without tipping over. If nature had a sense of humor, Tanystropheus was one of its boldest jokes. Number 9. Most flying creatures have wings on their arms, but this one had wings on its legs. Meet Charovipteryx, a gliding reptile from 225 million years ago, discovered in the forests of Central Asia. It was small, about the size of a modern lizard, but what made it unique were the membranes stretched across its hind legs, like a built-in parachute. Its front limbs were short, with claws for climbing trees, while its back limbs supported large, bat-like wings. It couldn't truly fly, but it could launch itself from the treetops and glide like a living paper plane. Its long, stiff tail worked as a rudder, giving it control mid-air, and it likely used its acrobatic glides to catch insects or escape predators. No other creature, extinct or living, has this wing configuration. It was a one-time experiment in evolution, and it never happened again. Number 8. When scientists first discovered this fossil, they couldn't tell which side was up. This is Hallucigenia, one of the strangest creatures from the Cambrian period, over 500 million years ago. It was only about 3 centimeters long, but every part of its body seemed designed to confuse. It had a soft, worm-like body, 7 pairs of tubular legs underneath, and rows of sharp spines running along its back. At first, paleontologists thought the spines were legs and the legs were tentacles. They reconstructed the creature upside down. Even its head was a mystery. It had no obvious eyes, and its mouth was a circular, claw-like structure. Hallucigenia didn't hunt. It scavenged the ocean floor, feeding on decaying matter and detritus. The spines were its only defense, a literal wall of needles to keep predators like Anomalocaris away. Its name says it all. Hallucigenia looks like something imagined in a fever dream, but it was real. Number 7. 5 eyes, a flexible trunk, and a mouth. This was Opabinia, a bizarre sea creature that lived over 500 million years ago during the Cambrian explosion. It was only about 7 centimeters long, but its design was unlike anything else. It had 5 eyes, 2 pairs on the sides and 1 on top, giving it near 360-degree vision. And extending from its face was a long, tubular appendage ending in a claw-like pincer, used to grab soft-bodied prey and shove it into its hidden mouth. Its segmented body had small side flaps for swimming, and it glided through ancient shallow seas like a tiny alien drone. When scientists first saw its fossil, they thought it was a mistake, an accidental mix of multiple animals. But no, it was a real species, a predator from a time when nature was still experimenting. And the result was something out of science fiction. Number 6. It had eyes on stalks, a long, flexible trunk with teeth, and no one knows what it really was. This was Tully Monster, a soft-bodied creature that lived 300 million years ago in the swampy waters of what is now Illinois, USA. It grew up to 30 centimeters long and looked like nothing else on Earth. Its eyes sat at the ends of a horizontal bar across its head, like a living selfie stick, giving it wide, stereoscopic vision. But its most disturbing feature, a long, segmented proboscis with a clawed mouth at the end, used to grab and tear into soft prey. Scientists still don't know whether it was a vertebrate or invertebrate. It doesn't fit into any known animal group. It's a true biological mystery. And despite dozens of fossils, no living relative has ever been found. It's as if evolution tried something completely alien and then erased it from existence. So far, we've seen a reptile with a neck longer than its body, a glider with wings on its legs, a walking hallucination, a five-eyed predator, and a creature so strange, scientists still don't know what it was. But from here on out, the line between real and myth starts to blur. These next 5 creatures are not just bizarre, they're the stuff of nightmares. Let's raise the bar. Number 5, before the dinosaurs, there was a killer with saber teeth and cold, calculating eyes. This was Inostrancevia, a terrifying predator from 260 million years ago, during the late Permian period. It stretched nearly 3 meters in length, with powerful limbs, a long tail, and jaws built for precision killing. Its most iconic feature? 2 massive canine teeth, each 15 centimeters long, the first true saber teeth in Earth's history. It used them to pierce vital organs, sever windpipes, or crush bone with surgical accuracy. Unlike dinosaurs, it had a semi-upright stance, making it faster and more agile than most of its prey. Its eyes faced forward, giving it binocular vision, and the ability to track, stalk, and strike like a modern big cat. Fossils show signs of brutal combat, broken ribs, healed wounds, and bite marks from rivals. Inostrancevia didn't just survive, it dominated, right until the greatest mass extinction in history wiped it from the earth. Number 4. Long before sharks, there was something much stranger lurking in the oceans. This is Anomalocaris, the top predator of the Cambrian seas, over 500 million years ago. Its name means abnormal shrimp, but don't let that fool you. This creature could grow up to 1 meter long, massive for its time, and it ruled the oceans with no competition. It had a pair of spiked, grasping arms extending from its head, used to snatch prey and pull it toward a circular mouth lined with hard, interlocking plates that crushed whatever got too close. Its body was segmented, built for speed, with side flaps that allowed it to glide through water like a torpedo. Its large, compound eyes gave it sharp vision, crucial for tracking agile prey like trilobites. What makes it terrifying isn't just how it hunted, but that it was one of the first predators Earth ever knew. A pioneer of fear. Number 3. It had the size of a T-Rex, a duck-like beak, and claws longer than swords. This was Therizinosaurus, one of the strangest dinosaurs to ever walk the Earth. It stood up to 5 meters tall, with a pot-bellied body, a hunchback, and arms so long they dragged its enormous claws through the dirt. Each claw stretched over 25 centimeters, curved, sharp, and shaped like a machete. And yet, this monster wasn't a predator. It was a herbivore. It used its claws to tear down vegetation, dig up roots, or defend itself against carnivores like Tarbosaurus. Its beak was strong enough to crush tough plants, and some fossils suggest it swallowed stones to help grind food, like a walking compost machine. For years, scientists only had its claws and thought they belonged to a giant meat-eater. When they finally reconstructed the full body, it looked like a cross between a sloth, a goose, and a dragon. Therizinosaurus didn't kill for food, but if something tried to kill it, it would be a very bad idea. Number 2. Deep in the ocean, where no light dares to reach, there's a creature that haunts the depths. Meet Magna, the giant squid of the deep. But this one isn't like the typical squid you might imagine. It's much, much stranger. With tentacles over 7 meters long, Magna hangs in the water like ghostly threads, drifting silently through the dark. Its arms are remarkably long for its size, hanging like limp ropes in the ocean, while its body is small and compact in comparison. But what makes it so eerie? It's one of the rarest creatures to film. Scientists have only captured brief footage of it. Its ghostly appearance, floating in the darkness, almost feels like something from a nightmare. Scientists believe Magnappina hunts by catching small fish and plankton with its long, sweeping tentacles. But it's the mystery surrounding its behavior and habitat that makes it so unsettling. We may know it exists, but we still don't fully understand it. And that's what makes it truly terrifying. So far, we've seen creatures with necks longer than their bodies, flying reptiles with wings on their legs, a predator with a mouth like a zipper, and a giant armored shark with a bite stronger than any predator today. But what creature could be so strange? It looks like it belongs in a myth. Let's find out. Number 1. Imagine a predator that could crush bones with ease, a sea monster from the depths of the ancient ocean. This was Dunkleosteus, a shark-like beast that terrorized the seas over 360 million years ago. It grew up to 10 meters long, and its body was covered in thick, bony plates, like living armor. Its jaw, unlike any shark's, was lined with massive blade-like plates, capable of crushing bone and tearing through its prey with the force of a wrecking ball. The bite force of Dunkleosteus was estimated to be over 8,000 pounds per square inch. Stronger than any modern-day shark, it hunted other fish, including smaller sharks, and even crushed the armored plates of its prey with ease. What makes Dunkleosteus even more terrifying? It lived in an ocean full of armored fish and invertebrates, yet it was the one predator no one dared challenge. This monster, with its powerful jaw and thick armor, was a living tank of the ancient seas. It ruled the oceans for millions of years before its extinction, leaving nothing but fossils behind. And the scars it left on history? Indelible. From the depths of ancient seas to the skies above us, the creatures we've uncovered are a reminder of just how strange and terrifying nature can be. Some may have vanished, but the legacy of these monsters still haunts the oceans today. If you thought these creatures were terrifying, wait until you see a creature scarier than the megalodon has just been caught on film in the ocean.